Good morning, guys. Today's spiritual inspo comes from Nehemiah 6 and 7. And in Nehemiah 6, the lesson is that fear can actually lead to sin. And so what happened here is that Nehemiah got done building the wall, and so his enemies couldn't reach him anymore. And so his enemies were trying to entice him to come outside so that they could kill him. But he would never come. So then they tried to infiltrate him from the inside of Jerusalem, right, within the walls. And they got to this false prophet that was in Jerusalem and told him to tell Nehemiah to get into the temple, which was against God's law, because only those sanctified to be in the temple could actually be in the temple. So this false prophet goes to Nehemiah and he's like, hey, you should go into the temple to seek refuge from your enemies. And Nehemiah was like, why would I do that? Why would I sin and disobey God by going into the temple to protect my own life? And he said, no, I will not do that. And so despite the fear that he had, he still did not sin against God. So fear can actually cause us to sin, because if God wants us to do something but we're too afraid to go out and do it, and we don't obey God, then that's sin, right? And if we're afraid to obey God because of what worldly people think of us and how they'll judge us and whatnot, that's also sin. It's a form of fear that leads to sin. So today I encourage everybody to live a life of faith and to reject fear. Reject living up to different expectations that are not going to bring you in harmony with God. And the second lesson today is from Nehemiah 7. And the lesson from here is that if you don't feel fulfilled in your life with what you're doing, try to be more faithful and fear God more, because in this context, God sets Hananiah and Hanani to rule over Jerusalem because they were faithful and feared him. They were faithful to the Lord and feared him. And because of these two traits, God put them in high positions of power because they were trustworthy to be in those positions. If you're lacking fulfillment in what you're doing in life, I encourage everyone to try to be more faithful and fear God more, because then he'll see that you're worthy to be trusted, and he'll give you more responsibility that's going to be more fulfilling in your daily life. So I hope that helps, guys. Try to make today better for someone else. God bless.